Unit 7, Lesson 3, homework. What's up? It's Miss Billman. We're going to look at the homework for this section, and it really goes along with skills from the first two. So I'm going to pull out this part of the cups of juice. It's berry to orange. I'm actually going to use cross multiplication to help me fill this in. So 1 over x, we don't know what it is equal to 4 tenths. So if I cross multiply, I get 4x being equal to 10. Well, I can't leave it that way. I need to get that x by itself. So I divide the 4 and divide the 4. So I could say my answer is 10/4. But I know for a fact that I can get that lower. 2 goes into each of them, and I get 5 seconds. So I fill that in. So for 1 cup of berry juice, I would have 5 seconds cup of orange juice. Now I know, and I'm going to explain why. I know that with 1 cup of orange juice, I would have 2/5 cups of berry. Now, why is that? Because that's the reciprocal. When I end up setting this up, as you'll see, I would need to divide by 5 seconds, or 5 over 2. When I divide a fraction, I'm really just multiplying by the reciprocal. So, like I already knew, it'd be 2/5. Woohoo, pulling and learning from previous units. Now, when I go down to the basic ratio, which is like the first one that's on there, it is blank. We'll explain that one, but we're actually going to move on to the right. So I have 4 over 10 is equal to 6 over blank, or we could just write x too. You could put it your own. You could write O for orange. So 6 times 10 is 60 is equal to 4x. I divide the 4 out. Divide by 4. 4 goes into 6 once, and I have 2 left over. 4 goes into 25 times. So I do end up having a final answer of 15. So when there are 6 cups of berry juice, there are 15 cups of orange juice. Okay, let's keep going. 6 over 15 is equal to x over 40. I cross multiply again. 6 multiplied by 40 is 240, so it's 15x is equal to 240. I need to divide out to get that x by itself. Divided by 15, divided by 15, and I could leave this at 240 over 15, but I mean, that's too big. So 15 goes into 24 once. I get 9 left over, bring down the 0 for 90, and I know 15, I could do 15, 30, 45, 60, and it equals 6. So for that final column, that basic ratio, it is 2 to 5. Well, how do I know that? Because if you look at the 1 cup of orange to how many cups of berry, it's 2 to 5. That's another way to write a ratio. So there is cups of berry juice for 1 cup of orange juice. There's 2/5 cups of berry juice. The basic ratio for orange to berry, notice this has changed it. So I would write it 5 over 2. There are how many cups of orange juice for every cup of berry juice? So the last time we did 1 cup of orange to berries. Now we're doing the 1 cup of berry. So it's 5 over 2, 5 seconds for every 1 cup. I'm going to do the same thing for numbers 2, 3, and 4. I set it up as cross multiplication. Now, that may sound like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to multiply the whole time. Well, you actually end up dividing too. You divide to get the variable by itself, and it is able to really showcase what we know. So 35 multiplied by 24, I get an answer of... now you're going to notice that I wrote down 740. In actuality, that truly is not 740. I go back there and I'm like, wait, what the heck? It is 840. Now, why? Because when I multiplied my 2 times 5, well, that's 0. I should have carried the 1. That would give it another to 700 plus 140, giving me 840. I was able to find my mistake. If I would have just done mental math, it would have been a mess. So how many times does 15 go into 840? It goes 90 times. So A is equal Oh, sorry. It goes 56. 90 would be 15 multiplied by 6. My bad. Sorry. So the final answer is 56. I do the same thing for 3 and 4. 15 multiplied by 8 is 120. 120 divided by 20 is 6. So B is equal to 6. Number 4. 4 times 9 is 24 is equal to 9R. I divide the 9 out. So I really could leave this at 24/9, but I'm going to go down as far as I can. So 9 goes into 24 2 times. That's 18. 24 minus 18 is 6. So I could write this as 2 6/9, but I know that 6 and 9 have a number in common, and that's 3. 3 goes into 6 twice, and 3 goes into 9 3 times. 15 2-inch nails weigh 35 grams. How many of these nails weigh, I believe it's 15. Oh, sorry, 175. Whoa, learn to read, self. So I put my 15 over 35. So I have my amount over my weight. And I will do 15 multiplied by 175. I will then divide that by 35. I so strongly suggest not doing this in your head. Oh my gosh, you could really get caught up. 5 times 5 is 25, carry the 2. 7 times 5 is 35 plus 2 is 37. 5 times 1 plus 3 is 8. Put down a 0, and those are 1, so it's the same Z's. 5, 12, carry the 1, 15, 16, put down a 6. Carry the 1 and get 2. So now I need to divide. Like this would be saying 35x is equal to 2,625. So 35 can't go into 26, so I'm just going to kind of bypass that. But 35 into 262. 7. And I know that because, 7 times 3 is 21, but I still have that extra number, but I think I can make it. I end up getting 245. I subtract that out and bring my numbers down. I borrow from the 6, and I get 17. Bring down the 5. How many times can 35 go into 175? Luckily, it's a number that ends in a 5, so that could really help me finding numbers out on there, and it ends up being 5. So my final answer is 75. So it'd be 75 nails is equal to 175 grams. 5 yards of fabric costs $9. So my 5 over 9 is equal to 12 over, I could use X or, F for fabric. How much do 12 yards of the same fabric cost? When you're setting up cross multiplication, you have to make sure that you have your numbers in order. It would be a totally different answer if I did my length over my cost for one and then cost over length. It would be just a mess. So 9 times 12 divided by 5. 108 divided by 5, there's 2. Put down a 0. 8, 1, 5, there's 3. I could do 21 3/5, or I could do decimal point. So I could bring down the 0. 5 goes into 36 times. And I'm going to put a 0 because, I wouldn't say just 21.6. 21 and 60 cents. $21.60.